So, folks, we have to talk about the fact that there is really no other way of putting it. There's a drinking problem in the White House, and it's basically everybody. Everybody in Trump's cabinet apparently has a problem with alcohol. And in vastly different ways. Like, it's been widely reported, of course, that Pete Hegseth is a notable drunk. And, as evidence of this, of course, there's like montages of him drinking while on the job at Fox News. You've got, of course, his Signal Gate kerfuffles. You've got a lot of scandals under Pete Hegseth to look at. But this has led to an overlooking of some of the other people in the administration that have a problem. And one of them being now former Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer, who left the cabinet. She's gone now. She straight up left. So why did she leave? Well, it's not just the drinking, but apparently she'd been drunk on the job. That was part of what she had been doing, right? But the worst aspects were that apparently she was treating staff as like personal servants. So they were being directed to like serve her family members, which led to a situation where both her husband and her son were apparently directing inappropriate texts and calls towards female staffers. And in one case, the same female staffer that worked for her. This got to be so bad that she was under investigation. Yeah, her departure follows reports that began surfacing in January that she was under a series of investigations. A New York Times report last Wednesday revealed that the Labor Department's Inspector General was reviewing material showing Chavez-DeRemer and her top aides and family members routinely sent personal messages and requests to young staff members. Chavez-DeRemer's husband and father, not son, husband and father, exchanged text messages with young female staff members, according to the newspaper. Some of the staffers were instructed by the secretary and her former deputy chief of staff to pay attention to her family. She also faced allegations that she drank alcohol on the job and tasked aides to plan official trips for primarily personal reasons. So basically just getting day drunk and like creeping on staff and also going on wild family vacations with government money. Like, that's nuts. That's just one thing, obviously. Just kind of a little teaser, if you will. Also, just want to say, Speederton, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. But then we get to this article from The Atlantic that was published about 5 days ago, titled, "The FBI Director is MIA. Kash Patel has alarmed colleagues with episodes of excessive drinking and unexplained absences." So, Kash Patel has apparently just been so drunk on the job that it's raised alarm among the people who have to work with him. In the sense of not just like, oh, he's messy at work drunk, but like he's so drunk he can't find work. Like he's so drunk that he is just not showing up where he's supposed to be as the FBI director. That's a big deal. There are allegations out there that at one point he was so dead drunk that there needed to be that his security needed to batter down his door with a battering ram in order to check on his actual status, to make sure he was still alive. He would come into work on pins and needles, knowing how drunk he was coming across. And he's so paranoid that he thinks that he's constantly getting fired. There's one allegation in this Atlantic piece that he was so out of it that he once came into work and apparently forgot the password to log into his computer and started freaking out, calling people, telling them that he had been locked out and was getting fired. This guy's in charge of the FBI. And you want to know the most fucked up thing about it? He might actually be the best FBI director we've had. Because at least he's not You know that he's not competent enough to do anything harmful. Like you know, like he's not. I don't trust him to be able to pull off any kind of like invasive operation or spy activity. Like this guy would just immediately spill the beans. He's like infomercial competent, you know? Like the kind of infomercial bumble you see of like someone having trouble sitting down with your hands full. Now we've got the Self-Sitter 3000. It will sit for you. And it shows like the before picture. The before picture is just Kash Patel. It's just him bungling, you know? Like the ShamWow guy, exactly. Yeah. God. I just want to share with you guys this part because, of course, after The Atlantic filed this story, and I do recommend you guys go read this Atlantic piece because it's honestly insane. I'm going to link it in chat here for you guys. All right? But after this, of course, he sued for $250 million for defamation against The Atlantic. And it's just, frankly, it's unbelievable. Some of the allegations here. The article included numerous false and defamatory statements of fact concerning Director Patel, including but not limited to A, that Director Patel is known to drink to the point of obvious intoxication, in many cases at the private club Ned's in Washington, D.C., while in the presence of White House and other administration staff. B, that Director Patel is also known to drink to excess at the Poodle Room in Las Vegas, where he frequently spends parts of his weekends. C, that early in his tenure, meetings and briefings had to be rescheduled for later in the day as a result of his alcohol-fueled nights. D, that on multiple occasions in the past year, members of his security detail have difficulty waking Patel because he was seemingly intoxicated, according to information supplied to Justice Department and White House officials. And E, that a request for breaching equipment, normally used by SWAT and hostage rescue teams to quickly gain entry into buildings, was made last year because Patel had been unreachable behind locked doors. He's suing for $250 million. Now, that lawsuit dropped on April 20th. April 20th, okay? On April 21st, judge dismisses Kash Patel's defamation lawsuit over claim he frequented nightclubs. This is unrelated, by the way, to the $250 million lawsuit against The Atlantic. This was from a previous defamation lawsuit that Kash Patel had filed against an FBI agent who had said he had seen... Sorry, I'll get you the direct quote. This FBI official had said, Patel has been visible at nightclubs far more than he's been on the 7th floor of the Hoover building. And that was something that he wanted to sue for defamation over. And the judge of this lawsuit obviously was just like, you can't sue someone for defamation for saying that he's seen you more at nightclubs than at work. That's not defamatory in this case. Like, come on. And I just want to end. I want to end on this one note, at least as relates to Kash Patel. Okay? Let's just jump into this. See how it lands for you guys.
Where we are today.
Hal, I do want to give you an opportunity to respond directly to the allegations in the Atlantic article that your unexplained absences created a national security risk. And beyond that, can you say definitively that you have not been intoxicated or absent during your tenure as FBI director?
I can say unequivocally that I never listen to the fake news mafia. And as when they get louder, it just means I'm doing my job. This FBI director has been on the job twice as many days as every director before me. What that means is I've taken half as many days off as those before me. What that means is I've taken a third less vacation than those before me. What that means is that this FBI with this Department of Justice has dropped the murder rate 20 points. What that means is this FBI with this Department of Justice has captured 8 of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world, twice as many as the Biden administration did in its entire 4 years.
And I did all of that myself. Many of you think I am in charge of a bureau. I actually did all of that work myself. I do the work of 10,000 men.
What that means is this FBI has seized enough fentanyl off the streets to kill 178 million Americans, a 31% increase. What that means is this FBI and this DOJ has arrested 43% more spies in 14 months than the entirety of the Biden administration. What that means is this FBI has seen a reduction in opiate overdose deaths up to 20% alone. What that means is that we have found 6,300 child victims, 6,300 families have their kids back. That is a 22% increase from the Biden administration. I'm on the job. I'm the first one in. I'm the last one out. I'm like an everyday American who loves his country, loves the sport of hockey, and champions my friends when they raise a gold medal and invite me in to celebrate. I've never been intoxicated on the job, and that is why we filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit. And any one of you that wants to participate, bring it on. I'll see you in court.
Where we are today.
What that means is, also, bro, you haven't even been FBI director for 4 years yet. You haven't even made it through a full term. You went from being podcaster to FBI director. You haven't been on the job twice as many days. You're going up against people who served 4 to 8 years. What are you talking about? Also, you didn't answer the question. You dodged it because very clearly you didn't want to answer it. And I think we can all come to our own conclusions about that. Where did he come from? He's literally a podcaster. NPR has described him as a fixture on right-wing talk shows and podcasts, including on noted anti-Semite Stu Peters' podcast. Fun fact. And then he got a show on Epic TV titled Cash's Corner. You know, Epoch TV. The channel run by the Falun Gong. A cult. The same one behind the Epoch Times. And also worked part-time for Steve Bannon. So, you know, also got paid $25,000 to be on Tucker Carlson's The Conspiracy Against Trump 6-part miniseries. You know, he's a podcaster. But you know, hey, look, maybe Donald Trump, our glorious leader, maybe he just picked a handful of bad apples. You know what they say about bad apples. You can have a handful of them in a barrel and nothing bad happens to the other apples that you put in the barrel. That's the famous saying about apples. So let's just take a quick look at someone who's very near and dear to Donald Trump, who's currently going through the nomination process. His name's Kevin Warsh. He's nominee to be the new chair of the Federal Reserve. You know, maybe he's a good dude.
If the FBI wants competency, they need to hire more cross-dressers as directors. Just ask our most effective and evil Director J. Edgar Hoover, who regularly cross-dressed. Closeting makes you evil, chat.
It's true. They might need to look into the Nazi femboy demographic. That might yield them far more evil results in the FBI. All right? But don't give them ideas. All right? Don't give them ideas. They don't need that. Anyway, here's a fun clip of Kevin Warsh being asked a pretty straightforward question by Elizabeth Warren during his confirmation hearing.
Has been plagued by deeply disturbing ethics scandals in recent years involving at least 6 Fed officials. So it's critical that the next chair have no financial conflicts, none. You have more than $100 million in investments that you have refused to disclose to ethics officials and to the public. So let me ask, do the Juggernaut Fund or the THSDFS LLC invest in any companies affiliated with President Trump or his family? Companies that have facilitated money laundering, Chinese-controlled companies, or financing vehicles established by Jeffrey Epstein?
Senator Warren, thank you. So let me first share a point of agreement with you. The Fed has two tools. One is its monetary policy, and the second is its credibility. And the scandals that you talked about, the ethics problems you talked about, went to the core of the credibility that has hurt the Fed.
Could you answer my question, please? I asked. You have $100 million in undisclosed assets. And what I'm asking is, are any of those with this outfit that invests in companies affiliated with President Trump or his family, companies that have facilitated money laundering, Chinese-controlled companies, or financing vehicles set up by Jeffrey Epstein? It's a yes or no question.
Senator, I've worked tirelessly with the ethics officials at the Office of Government Ethics.
And you have not
come to an ethics agreement
$100
with
million
them and have agreed, Senator, to sell all of my financial assets,
Mr.
including
Walsh,
the Duquesne assets.
Are you refusing to tell us if you have investments, for example, in vehicles set up to advance Jeffrey Epstein? Is that what you're telling us? You just won't tell us?
Senator, what I'm telling you is that those assets that you represent at Juggernaut will be sold if I'm confirmed before I take office and sign the oath of office.
Let me follow up on that. Will you at least disclose how you plan to disclose and divest these secret assets? I'm sure you understand that the public might question your motives if, for example, billionaire Stanley Druckenmiller, who you honored in your opening statement, and who makes a living guessing what the Fed will do next, cuts you a massive check for $100 million as you take the oath of office to become the new Federal Reserve Chair.
Senator, as you know, it sounds like your fight might not be with me, but the Office of Government Ethics. I have come to full agreement with them and have agreed to divest all of those assets,
I'm asking
especially
you a very
those that you referenced
question,
before
Mr.
I take
Warsh,
the oath of office.
And that is, has been...
You know, I do think it's pretty telling if you're basically saying during your confirmation hearing, look, yeah, I have $100 million invested in companies that may or may not be associated with Jeffrey Epstein. But look, I promise I'll sell them if you confirm me. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, look, I know I have a bunch of money invested in the pedophile account, but I'll sell that investment, but only if you actually make me head of the Fed. Like, the level of cartoonish evil in the liquor cabinet is crazy. It's crazy. I pinky promise I'll sell all of my pedophile assets as long as you confirm me as head of the chair, head of the Federal Reserve. Like, that's crazy. Like, shouldn't you, I don't know, shouldn't you want to sell your pedophile assets because they're pedophile assets? Seems like you'd want to get rid of those as soon as possible. I'm sorry, do you think the pedophile assets are going to become more valuable in the future? Gotta invest in big pedophile? Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, I promise I'll be a good person, but only if you put me in charge of the Federal Reserve. It's not the flex you think it is, bro. Look, I pinky promise that I won't be beholden to my outside investments if you make me the head of the Federal Reserve. I know I'm not disclosing all of my assets right now, but I promise I'll get rid of all of them. Just put me in as the Federal Reserve head coach. Put me in, coach. It's so stupid. But this is what we have to contend with. This is the Trump cabinet. This is MAGA world in a nutshell. It's blatantly corrupt. It's riddled with associations to pedophilia. It is full of incompetent boobs being inexplicably put in charge of literally some of the most powerful systems on Earth. And like, I just don't know what to tell you guys. Like, this is, the bar is in hell and they can't clear it.
Kash undermines the defamation case against The Atlantic.
Oh, Coder Joe, about to play that. Thank you very much for sending it. Thank you for the 2 tier 1 subs as well.
You in court.
Can you explain the computer login issue? Just explain the computer login issue. You were not able to log into your lawsuit contends that you were not able to log into the system. What did you think after you were unable to log into the system?
Let's have a survey. How many of you people believe that's true? Hang on.
Did you communicate?
You asked the question. Let me answer it.
No, let me.
No.
Did you communicate
That's not answering the question. That's asking another question.
with anyone that you thought you were fired after you were unable to log into
The problem with you and your report, don't cut me off. You asked the question.
Straightforward question.
The problem with you and your baseless reporting is that is an absolute lie. It was never said. It never happened. And I will serve in this administration as long as the president and the attorney general want me to do so.
I will serve this administration as long. Like he's slurring his words.
And every time you guys report false lies, every time you guys raise baseless questions, when we are here to talk about the Southern Poverty Law Center's $3 million decade-long scheme to fraudulently fleece Americans, you are off topic.
It's a simple, straightforward question. Did you talk to anybody about whether you thought
The
you were
simple
fired?
answer to your question is you are lying. And every time you do so, I've answered your question. It's simply as follows. I was never.
Also, he admitted to being locked out, like in his lawsuit.
Locked out of my systems. Anybody who says
your
it.
lawsuit says the opposite. Your lawsuit contains
Anyone that says the
your lawsuit-
opposite
your-
is lying.
The lawsuit
Thank you.
that you filed says that
Look,
directly.
man, stop. You're being extraordinarily rude.
Oh, God. You're being really rude asking about this public lawsuit that he made, okay? You're being very rude. How dare you? It's incredible. It's genuinely incredible. I'm just asking about what you allege happened in your own lawsuit. Look, Kash Patel's lawsuit was rude against himself. Kash Patel. You don't understand. He has a problem. You are enabling him right now. We all need to be there for him.
And I know maybe that's part of your profession, but please just stop. If you ask a question, he can answer it. And then wait, now you're interrupting me. Like just a little bit of respect, man. Just a tiny little bit. Try it sometime. Go ahead.
Just just the condescension and the attempt to shame the reporter for asking the question in the first place is crazy. Oh man, isn't that Todd Blanche? Isn't that Donald Trump's former lawyer? Yeah, it's Todd Blanche. That's the acting United States Attorney General, just as an FYI. No, Todd Blanche. Look, the only way out of this is if we get organized. The only power that thwarts corporate power that put these stooges in office is us getting organized. The full stop. That is the barrier between us and a better world. It's us getting organized and demanding that world. Okay? So, folks, get organized. Because otherwise we got to put up with these losers for the rest of our lives. All right? And, guys, join your local Dems. Make them more progressive. Join your local DSA. Make them more effective. If you need help, join our Discord. Reach out to Gamergy for help with DSA. Reach out to Dragonfly for help with your local Dems. And if you don't want to join Discord for whatever reason, head over to riverboat.gg and you can find them over there most of the time. Also, if you got anything out of this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. What do you think of the liquor cabinet? Let me know. Comments longer than 8 words really helping the algorithm. And also, check out ImogeneOlivia.com. Gender euphoric lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes. Also tested with cis men, cis women, non-binary folks. It is non-tucking lingerie. It is extremely comfortable. Wearing it right now. Very flattering. And also, sexy. Like lingerie should be. Go check it out. ImogeneOlivia.com. Link down in the description. Let's keep on going.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the scenes. Politics, gaming, plenty more. Her sense of fashion